Good morning. Day 201. Cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry. Still going strong, still lots of food to cook down. I've been blessed. I'm very grateful that I have the food that I had bought. But it's time to make some changes, and I really would like to just try and live with one freezer. I don't know if that's going to happen. If not, then I will eventually, if I find it necessary, buy a very small 7 cubic foot freezer. But we'll see. When you have a garden, you tend to have a little bit more stuff that you need to freeze. But so far, I want to cook down the things that I already have before they get too old. So that's the plan. So today it's going to be a beautiful 78 degrees. When I was younger, I would have said, oh, that's too cold for July. But it's funny how your perspective changes as you get older. I used to love when it was in the 90s. Now it's like, oh, ugh, 90. That's too hot. All right, so love begins with coffee. But first coffee, and I'm looking forward to this lovely cup of coffee. And even things like a cup of coffee can be a blessing, in my opinion. So try and savor the small, little insignificant moments in your life. Be present in the time that you have going on right now. Try not to worry about the future, and the past is over. It doesn't even exist anymore. It's in the rearview mirror. I know it has a big impact on our emotions and our feelings, but only if you let it. So what I try and do when I perseverate on things that have happened that have made me sad or unhappy, I try and tell myself to just stop. I physically out loud say, just stop. Sometimes I have a chat with myself in the mirror. I know some people might think that's weird, but it works. I talk to myself in the mirror, I look myself in the eye, and I have a conversation with myself, a come to Jesus moment where sometimes I'll just say, I put it in the hands of God. And that seems to work for me. So if you're going through a rough time, or you're sad, or, try looking at the things around you that make you happy. Listening to the birds sing, having a cup of coffee or your favorite beverage outside in nature. If you live in an apartment, go to a park and just sit and be quiet and let nature come into your soul. That's what I try to do. And for the most part, it keeps me calm and happy. And give it a try. It can't hurt, right? So I don't know what I'm having for breakfast this morning. I have to peruse my refrigerator. Plenty of things in there to eat, which makes me happy. And I'm thinking I may go up to Tom's boat today. I'm not 100% sure, but I probably will. So I probably won't be making dinner tonight, but I will be having breakfast here. All right, so I will be back in a little while with breakfast, day 201. All right, let's have some brunch, day 201. So I need to eat up this yogurt. So I'm going to have that. And I want to finish up these DIY raisins. And I'm going to have some more of this apple butter. And I think that's all I'm going to have out of the fridge today. So I will meet you at the stove. Good morning. Cheers. Time for some breakfast brunch. It's more lunch since it's noon. All right, very simple today. I'm just going to have some of this, and I did drain the whey from it. You can save the whey and then you can bake with it, or there's lots of things you can do with whey. But I have enough projects in my refrigerator, so I'm not saving it for now, but in the future I might. So I'm just having some yogurt today. And I'm going to add some sweetener. And I like this whole earth sweetener. It's stevia and monk fruit. It doesn't have an aftertaste. And I used to get a box of this from Amazon. 400 packs, it used to be $16. Now I've noticed it's $21. So that's the way it goes, but this lasts me a long time. It lasts me a good 6 months, I would say. And then again, today I'm going to add more apple butter. I've got like this much left. I really want to use this up. And I'll make another recipe with it at some point. You could use it in bakery or other different things. But I liked it in the yogurt. I thought that was really good. So I'm also going to add my homemade raisins and get those out of the fridge finally. And then I'm going to put some of this cinnamon and pecan Special K on here. It's really the only cereal that I eat because I'm not a big fan of cereal. But I do like it on yogurt for a little bit of crunch. So this is a pretty big bowl of yogurt because this is what I'm eating today. And later, if I'm still hungry, maybe I'll have some cheese and crackers or some hummus and pretzels. Either or. Okay, so there we go. And when I get cereal, I just repackage my cereal into a bag to keep it fresher. Now this one I happen to put back in the box because of where I store it. I store it this way. But normally I would just throw the box out. So I'm going to put quite a bit of the cereal on here. Well, this isn't really for doggies. But okay, I'll give you one. They've never had that before. Okay. So this is not a very exciting breakfast, but it's tasty. If I had banana, I could put banana in here or sprinkle it with some nuts. But anyway, here it is. Breakfast day 201. All right, I'm going to eat this and I'll be back. And we'll see what else is going on today. I'm sitting here having an afternoon cup of coffee. And today was a low spend day. Not a no spend, but a low spend. So as you know, well, those of that have been with me for a while, you know, I'm trying to turn my little container garden into a raised bed garden because it's getting too difficult for me to bend over and garden. So I have a lot of city picker boxes. I had 6 of them originally, but they were on the ground, and I almost got rid of them because the place that I had them was too shady and nothing grew. It sort of, the soil stayed too wet because they're self-watering, and nothing grew well. So anyway, I moved all the boxes into a sunny area after part of one of my trees came down, and they're doing really, really well. So I had gotten one of these city picker boxes. They can come on a stand too. And the normal price of those on Amazon is like $64. Well, a couple weeks ago, I bought one on a stand because what I want to do is take my grow bags and put the dirt into the city picker boxes along with some fertilizer and some dolomite lime. Well, I don't have any dolomite lime, so I had to get some of that, and I ordered it on Amazon, and it was 5 pounds for like $15. And then today, when I went on Amazon, well, first let me back up. The one I bought was a damaged box item, so instead of paying $64, I got it for $43. Now, when I looked on Amazon, I was looking for some stands for the city picker boxes, and those were $41. So when I was looking, it's like, no, that's too much. I got the whole shebang for $42. So today they had another one for $41, and I had perks from my Amazon shopping for I think it was $43. No, that can't be right. Well, anyway, however much it was. So I ordered this new one, and it ended up costing me, with the perks, $2.40 some cents. So I could not pass that deal up. So between the $2 and some cents and the $15, I did spend $17, but I got something that I really wanted, and I got it at a really good deal. So in cases like that, I will do a low spend. Now, I wasn't about to pay 60 some dollars for it, and so I was really happy that I got that deal. Now I'll have 2 of the raised bed city pickers that I can empty my grow bags into. The grow bags do a nice job, but sometimes I'm gone overnight or on the weekend, and I find it's difficult to keep them watered. They dry out really quickly. So eventually I want to go and just use the city picker boxes. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Passing up good deals that you've been wanting, to me, is not a good idea, because otherwise you're going to end up just spending full price for it eventually anyway. So if they have that deal again, I would probably get another one, even if I had to pay 40 some dollars for it. So if you're into stockpiling, the reason I'm talking about these city picker boxes is because I think it's a good idea for all of us to grow some of our own food. Doesn't have to be complicated, but anything that you grow that you can eat. A lot of greens. Next year I'm going to plant mostly greens like kale and chard, things that produce a lot. They have very big leaves and they would provide several meals for me. You can do the cut and come again method, which means you cut off the outside leaves, you leave the crown, and it continues to produce. You can do that with kale, you can do that with lettuce, you can do it with spinach, a lot of greens. You don't have to cut the whole thing off. So you can have quite a bit of food from that. And the deeper greens also have a lot of protein in them. And it's a cheap source of protein. So I wanted to talk a little bit about stockpiling food. Now I prefer not to buy a lot of prepackaged foods, but that's just me. And if you have things like flour, salt, sugar, oil, eggs, or flax meal if you're vegan, you can pretty much make a lot of different things out of those. Out of the flour, you can make pasta, you can make pancakes, you can, of course, make baked goods, you can make bread, you can make seitan by washing the flour, which is a protein for those of you that don't know what seitan is. So there's so many things that you can make with that it's a good thing to stock up on. Another thing, of course, is rice and beans. Rice and beans make a complete protein as well. Pasta. If you have flour, you can make your own pasta. It's not that difficult. You can make tortillas. You can make flatbreads, regular bread. I mean, having flour is pretty much one of the best things that you can stockpile. Now, if you have the room, I'd say put it in the freezer, but a lot of us don't have that much room, so maybe getting some buckets. You can get buckets at Walmart in the bakery department for a couple dollars. They're food safe and they have lids. You have to check there periodically. They don't always have them available. They have the 5-gallon and they also have smaller buckets, which are great too. If you put some bay leaves in with your rice and things like that, it helps to keep the bugs out. I know my mom, she always said to put a piece of wood in with whatever it is you're trying to preserve. I don't know what the mechanics of that is. I'm not sure, but I guess it does work. So, of course, you want to make sure it's not treated wood. It just has to be regular wood. So, if you have a lot of those basic things, you're going to have your greens, you're going to have a well-balanced diet. You'll have your greens, your carbs, and your proteins. Getting soybeans and stocking up on soybeans. You can make soy milk, you can make tofu, you can make all kinds of things with soybeans. So that's a good thing to stockpile too. So I'm just trying to think of a few things that if you're very limited in your money, some of the very basic things that you can keep that at least you won't starve and you'll have a well-balanced diet. So as this goes on with this inflation and you know, our food being so costly, I try to think of more and more ways to go back to the old ways and have enough food available so that I can have a nice variety of meals and also very basic meals. Another good thing to stock is oatmeal. You can do a lot of things with oatmeal. You can make it into oat flour. You can do baked goods with oat flour. You might want to consider stocking up on yeast and baking powder and baking soda, so that you can make quick breads, and you can also make regular bread. So it's a good thing to stock up on that. And I don't know if you remember, but there was a big shortage of yeast. Now you can put yeast in the freezer and it'll last longer too. So those are some of the things that I can think of to stockpile, things that aren't going to cost you an arm and a leg. And if you are running short on things, you know, just keep a good stock of those things and then start using those things, and as you use them up, replace them. That way it won't cost you so much. So those are some of my thoughts on the stockpiling. Like I said, I don't buy a lot of prepared boxed foods. It's just not my thing. I'd rather just cook from fresh. But so anyway, it's almost time for dinner, and I still have plenty to eat in my refrigerator. So I'll be back in a little bit and we'll see what's for dinner. All right. Okay, it's time for dinner, day 201. And I think I'm going to keep it simple. And I'm just going to finish up the rest of this sloppy joe. So for that, I'll need another bun. I'm going to toast that. And I'm just going to have that with some fries. I have my iced tea. All right, simple. I will meet you at the stove. All right, I have a cut up potato here that I'm going to make in my air fryer. And I'm just going to stick everything in the bag. Okay, here I have some malt vinegar French fry seasoning. I've had that for a long time. It's from Tastefully Simple. I bought that when I had way more money because their spices are not cheap. So I'm just going to use some of that for my French fries. I've got some garlic butter canola oil. I think this might be empty. Well, it's empty now. So one less thing in the cupboard. But I want to add a little bit more. That wasn't enough oil. So I'll add some grapeseed oil as well. Not too much. I don't want them greasy. I just want enough oil that my seasoning is going to stick to. Alright, so first I'm going to get the oil all over. And these are kind of thick French fries. I have a lot of potatoes that I need to use up. So I will be making meals with those. And then I'm going to put a good amount of the seasoning on. Smells good. A little bit more. and that should do it. Then this is going to go on the French fry setting in my air fryer, and I think that goes for about 20 minutes. And in the meantime, I'll toast my bun and heat up my sloppy joe, and I'll be back. Okay, so here is my dinner, day 201. I decided to eat these open-faced so I could finish up the meat and sauce. And then here's my fries with some ketchup. Let me try these. 20 minutes in your air fryer. It makes a lot less mess than frying them in oil. And they're healthier. So, I'm going to go enjoy my dinner. And I'm going to wrap this up for today. I ended up not going to the boat. My leg was still bothering me. It's getting better. So I don't know. Maybe it was a pinched nerve. So anyway, I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.